There's a very certain kind of trauma called enmeshment trauma, where in a family, there's no clear line between parent and child or siblings, right? And I find that this is very common in a lot of Hispanic Mexican families because of our culture, right? We are very close knit and we are very connected and we do rely on each other for a lot of things, right? Financially, physically, emotionally, for all our connection, all our happiness, right, may derive from our families. And there's even certain families that have businesses together where they're constantly together all of the time. All of their time is spent together on the weekends, throughout the week. Everything is just revolving around the family, right? So that's what this enmeshment trauma is. And the main thing that ends up happening with this is that you have a tough time challenging the authority of the parent, even as an adult, right? You may still be their child, but now you're an adult and it's very difficult to even think about challenging them. And any moment you do challenge them, it just results in the parent being angry or yelling or forcing their will upon you, right? So I'm going to share three things that usually happen when you have this difficulty of challenging that authority of a parent over you, right? The first one is this anger of feeling controlled, being stuck in your life. And this anger can be directed at your parents, and it may be something you never truly express to them, or it can be an anger you feel towards yourself and everything going on in your life, right? It can evoke strong feelings of frustration in everything you're doing, and all of your choices, your desires, your dreams, your goals are constantly dismissed or just left on the back burner, right? And they leave you with this sense of having no control in your life, of having no direction, of having no choice in what you want to do with your own life. And your decision making is going to be completely debilitated, right? As everything you're going to be thinking about having to run it through your parents and needing their approval and not wanting to have to go through their rejection or some form of criticism from them. The second thing that happens is this guilt or shame that you may feel for feeling like you're disobeying, abandoning, or being ungrateful towards your parents for everything that they do for you, right? That may be something that they constantly tell you, how much they've sacrificed for you, how much they do for you, and how ungrateful you're being for not doing exactly as they say all the time, right? So these feelings of guilt and shame can be very deep seated, right? They can show up at any moment for any little thing that you do that doesn't completely follow what your parents want you to do. And as you age, this becomes a problem because you need to be able to disagree with people, and your parents are very important to be able to disagree with, right? As you start to develop this sense of independence and autonomy. And if you don't ever reach a healthy relationship with them that you can do that, it's going to be very difficult to do that in any relationship you do. You may just resort back to those feelings of guilt, shame, and then anger again. The last one that happens is this fear of confrontation, right? Which is in reality a fear of change as well. Because whenever you do challenge a parent, it's usually because the outcome is not going to be exactly what they want, right? So there's going to be change that comes along. Either you're going to have to take on a lot of more responsibility, the dynamic between your relationship may change, and it can be very intimidating, very scary to have to move through life without their 100% support now, right? So knowing that they're either going to decide to, let's say you're deciding to be independent, right? Move out, get your own job, or do what you want in your own life where it doesn't have to revolve around what they want for you. And they're either going to reject your decision and hold resentment towards you, or they're gonna reject your decision and eventually develop compassion for you and want to fix that relationship with you, right? That you have no control over that. You can do things to try and keep that relationship healthy and not so aggressive on your end, but their reaction is going to be completely on them. So that also goes in with this fear of change and that fear of confrontation. But it's going to be something that you're going to have to face. And the more intelligent and emotionally calm you are whenever you do have conversations with your parents, right? When you're trying to go against their wishes simply out of your need for your own independence, the better that the outcome may be, right? So just try and stick with that of being calm in the moment, right? So just know that it's not normal to be completely and always dependent on your parents' uh, approval for everything that you do in your life. And your independence is something that you can want in your life. And it's something that is a part of personal growth and self-discovery and becoming a mature, well-adjusted adult. So you're going to have to make that decision eventually, or you're just going to end up living your life under the shadow of what they want for you for the rest of your life. And that's not to say that parents, I'm not trying to say this in order to make the parents seem bad, right? But it just ends up happening that this trauma becomes so normal and so powerful in some people's lives that they can never make a decision for themselves. So hopefully this at least puts a name to it, and anybody that connects to this is able to make that decision for themselves to start to work towards their own independence and their own self-confidence and self-esteem to make their own decisions.